Good evening, and welcome to What the Wild. I'm Max Meerkat. Tonight, incredible true stories from the animal kingdom. Let's begin. Story 1. For years, divers off the coast of Japan kept finding something impossible on the seabed. Strange, perfectly geometric circles, almost 2 meters wide, carved into the sand. Intricate ridges and valleys radiated out from the center like a work of art or a mysterious crop circle beneath the sea. They would appear and then slowly wash away, only to reappear again. No one knew what was making them or why, until finally a camera caught the artist in the act, and it was almost too small to believe. The sculptor was a tiny pufferfish, barely the size of a human hand. For more than a week, working day and night without rest, the little male swims along the seabed, flapping his fins to push and carve the sand. He builds dozens of precise, evenly spaced ridges, smooths the valleys between them, and decorates the very center with crushed shells and fragments of coral. A creature with no blueprint, no tools, and no teacher, creating a flawless, geometric masterpiece many times larger than himself. But this is far more than art. It is a love song written in sand. The female pufferfish swims down to inspect the circles, and the more perfect the pattern, the more likely she is to choose him. The soft, fine sand he has gathered in the center becomes the perfect cradle for her eggs. And those ridges he carved so carefully? Scientists discovered they actually calm the swirling ocean currents, shielding the delicate eggs from being swept away. A tiny fish and an engineering marvel that baffled the world for years. We'll pause there. Stay with us. Story 2. Across the rivers of North America and Europe lives an animal that doesn't just live in its environment, it completely rebuilds it. The beaver, the second largest rodent on Earth, armed with powerful orange teeth that are reinforced with iron and never stop growing. With them, a single beaver can fell a tree as thick as a human body in just one night. But it isn't doing this for food. It has a far greater plan. It is going to build a dam. Working mostly in the dark, beavers drag branches, logs, stones, and mud into the flowing water, weaving them into a wall strong enough to stop an entire stream. The water rises behind it, flooding the land and creating a deep, calm pond. And in the middle, they build a lodge, a dome of sticks and mud with its only entrance hidden safely underwater, where no predator can follow. Inside is a cozy, dry chamber above the waterline. It is a fortress, a food store, and a home, all in one, and they maintain it for generations. And the scale can be staggering. In the remote forests of Canada, beavers built a single dam so enormous, over 800 meters long, that it was first spotted on satellite images from space. By flooding the land, beavers create entire wetlands that bring life to thousands of other species, from fish to birds to insects. Their ponds filter water, reduce floods, and store carbon. They are nature's master engineers, and one of the very few animals on Earth, besides us, that can reshape the landscape itself. We'll pause there. Stay with us. Story 3. Deep in the forests of Australia and New Guinea, a male bird is preparing for the most important performance of his life. He is a bowerbird, but he doesn't rely on a beautiful song or bright, flashy feathers. Instead, he becomes something extraordinary, an artist and an architect. On the forest floor, he spends weeks building an elaborate structure called a bower, two carefully woven walls of twigs, forming a perfect avenue. And remarkably, this is not even a nest. It is built for one purpose only, to impress. Then comes the decorating, and the bowerbird is astonishingly fussy. Many have a favorite color, very often blue. He scours the forest for blue treasures, berries, flowers, feathers, and in the modern world, even bottle caps and scraps of plastic. He arranges every single piece with obsessive care and will steal the best decorations from his rivals. Some even paint the walls of their bower, using chewed-up berries as a paintbrush, and others sort their objects by size, creating a clever optical illusion that makes the bird appear larger. When a female finally arrives, she inspects his work like a judge at an art gallery, walking through the avenue, studying every detail. and his entire future depends on her approval. She will visit several males comparing their work before making her choice. If the bower is beautiful enough and his dance impressive enough, she chooses him as her mate. It is one of the most sophisticated displays of art and design in the entire animal kingdom, created by a small bird purely to be admired. We'll pause there. Stay with us. And finally, story 4. In the sun-baked savannas of Africa and Australia stand some of the most incredible structures ever built by any animal. Towers of earth rising up to 8 or 9 meters into the sky. For a human to build something at the same scale, compared to our body size, we would need a tower over a mile high. And the architects behind them? Millions of tiny blind termites, each one no bigger than a grain of rice, working in total darkness. These mounds are far more than piles of dirt. They are living, breathing cities. Inside, a vast network of tunnels and chambers shelters millions of termites, ruled by a single queen who can live for decades. And at the very heart of it, they farm, growing delicate gardens of fungus for food, which must be kept at a perfect constant temperature. So the termites build a natural air conditioning system, an intricate network of vents in chimneys that channels air through the entire mound, releasing hot, stale air and drawing cool, fresh air in. It works so well it has inspired human architects. Working together with no leader, no plans, and no single architect, these blind insects keep the conditions inside their towers more stable than many human buildings. Some of these mounds are centuries old, used and rebuilt through generation after generation. From a tiny fish drawing perfect circles in the sand, to a bird building art, to insects raising air-conditioned skyscrapers, nature's master builders remind us of one humbling truth. The greatest engineers on Earth were never human at all. That's What the Wild for tonight. I'm Max Meerkat. If you enjoyed this story, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss what the wild has in store. New stories several times a week. Until next time, stay wild.